promo. That's the last promo we record. I gotta line it up with that. Simple. And it's not lined up in that picture, but but I would line it up if I could. I recorded that before. Okay, so let's see. You can do fades. You can do volume adjustment. You can even record new audio after you record the podcast. So you record your whole show, you put it into your editor, and then you decide, you know what? I want to do a little bit of, I want to do a little thing at the beginning, or I want to do a little thing at the end. You position your cursor at the beginning, you hit record, and you record whatever you want. You speak into your microphone, do whatever you want, and it'll move everything along. And that's really how you create your show. Like I said, GarageBand for the Mac, Audacity for PC or Mac. Make sure you write that down. If you're taking notes, Audacity is highly, highly recommended for editing. I like GarageBand better, but that's just me.
And if I were doing a visual, I'd use iMovie or some other kind
Absolutely.
of program.
Yes.
In this area, right?
On the Windows side, Windows.
I use Mac. So
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, iMovie on the Mac. Windows Movie Maker, I think it's called on the Windows side. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Basically the same thing as iMovie. I love iMovie. Final Cut Express on the Mac is also very good. You don't need to get fancy. You don't need music. You don't need sponsors when you're starting off. I don't know what that green dog thing is, but I found that graphic and I knew I had to use it.
You don't need him.
You don't need music. You don't need sponsors. What you do need, though, is a little bit of polish. Just a little bit. I'm going to talk about one thing that you can do that will make your recording stand out heads and shoulders above 90% of what else is out there. We're going to talk about ID3 tags. What is an ID3 tag? An ID3 tag, basically when you record your podcast, it'll be in MP3 format. You can do it in other formats, but I don't recommend it. MP3 is kind of the de facto standard for podcasting. Inside your MP3 file is these ID3 tags. There's little bits of text, little bits of data that get carried along with the file. And it's thanks to the ID3 tags that your show is properly set up in iTunes or whatever you're using to listen to music on your computer. So just setting these correctly automatically makes you stand out, because I can't tell you how many podcasts I've downloaded, they're not set correctly. The artist is not listed. The track name is not listed. The track number is not listed. You don't really need a track number, I suppose, but artist, album, track name, title. These are the things that make it possible for your listener to find your show in iTunes. You got to set it. You got to set them right. I'm going to show you how. Okay, so why did this advance? There we go. Setting your ID3 tags, you can do it in whatever program you're using to record, generally speaking. I know GarageBand will do it. I know Audacity will do it. I know many others will do it. Look in your program for the options to set your ID3 tags. Look in the help files if you need to. It's in there. Create a graphic in Photoshop or whatever image editing program you've got on your computer. Again, like recording voice, every computer's got some way to do basic image editing. You don't need Photoshop. You need something. You got to have a little graphic, a little 600 by 600 pixel square graphic that'll ride along with your file. iTunes loves these little files, these little icons.
And you wanted it at 72 DPI or?
DPI doesn't factor into it, because 600 pixels is 600 pixels at whatever.
600 pixels.
Exactly.
600 pixels.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
DPI only comes into play when you're printing something. on screen is just the number of pixels that matter. So 600 pixels square. It used to be 300. It's not 300 anymore. Apple, iTunes, they said, all right, bigger. Bigger is better. So it's 600. Whenever you go to the iTunes store now, in the podcast directory, you're going to see that graphic listed along with your show. And it'll be in iTunes when your user downloads your content. All right. So once you've got your file all edited, you've got your ID3 tags set, it's time to upload. You're going to upload it to a web host. And generally that means 3 big letters, FTP, which stands for File Transfer Protocol. This is how you get your file, your recording, up to the web server. And that's how your listeners find it. In order for you to use this protocol, you need a client. You need a program on your computer that will do it for you. FTP clients are available for every platform. It's old. FTP as a protocol is older than the World Wide Web. So yeah, for a lot older. This goes back to 60s or 70s, I think. It's old. Let's see. On the Windows side, you've got Qt FTP, WSFTP, FileZilla. We got better names on the Mac side. We got CyberDuck. Okay. We got CyberDuck.
Wait, did you notice the word smarts on the Windows side?
Yeah, but Macs are yummy.
Of course, Apple.
So, and you fetch.
And we fetch.
So you're the eye candy of the brain.
I'm not going to get into a Windows.
No, because I'm going to have to back down soon enough anyway. Yeah.
That's right, you're going to back down. Personally, I use Yummy FTP on the Mac because it's simple. It's drag and drop. Most FTP clients you're going to find now are drag and drop. You can still find a command line interface and blah, blah, blah. No, make it simple. Use a drag and drop interface. But the big question is, where are you going to upload your file to? You have a few options. You can upload it to your own web host. Like I said, if you have your own website, you've got your own web host. You're going to have access to the directory, the web directory, where all of your web files live. You can throw it up there. If you don't have your own website, though, you have a few other options. And they're not necessarily options that I'm down with. I prefer to host things. Well, I host my podcast files on a service called Geekcast, which is run by a couple of people that I know personally. You don't have that option because you don't know them. Actually, it's not quite true, but I'll get into that later. You have a few options. Podcast files can be a little large. If you have your own web host, if you have your own website, you may be limited to the number of gigabytes you can transfer every month. That might be one strike against having your own web host as well. Your other option is to let somebody else host the file, but there are downsides to that. There can be downsides to that. There are no downsides where I host, because like I said, I know these guys. But other providers will run ads against your content. They'll put little audio ads at the beginning and the end of your show. They'll put your show on their websites so people can visit their website, click on the player, and